Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Real Talk with Saieed Ali. I am your host Saeed. I do want to thank you for joining us tonight, Thursday, the 21st of July, 2022. It's a privilege to be here, viewers. So remember, every night I do tell you all, get to your phone, get to your tab, get to your computer, open your Facebook account, search Real Talk with Saieed Ali. When our page pops up, like it and share it. So your friends in Trinidad and Tobago, up the Caribbean and around the globe will be able to know about the #1 current affairs program in Trinidad and Tobago, which is Real Talk with Saieed Ali. Also, I am encouraging you, those of you who are on YouTube, you don't have a Facebook account and you want to go on YouTube, click on the YouTube, just type in TT Real Talk. When it pops up, just subscribe, hit the bell, and you would know when we go live, viewers. So I am asking you to do this now. Why am I telling you this? We are the #1 current affairs program in Trinidad and Tobago, and soon to be the #1 from 7 to 8 p.m. I just waiting for a reading, but me I want to say nothing yet. Remember, viewers, I'm a licensed money lender. Those of you who are looking for cash borrow is not a problem. You can contact me at 339-1670, 238-6716, or 267-7325. It's our central numbers. For San Fernando, our south office, 242-7690. The office is located at number 132 Victoria Village in San Fernando. That is Cipero Road, Victoria Village in San Fernando. Our central head office is at 14 Caroni Savannah Road in Shogunas. There's a big Real Talk group of companies signing in front of our building, viewers, so you can't miss it. You can't miss it. For those of you who know Dr. Rai Ragbir in Caroni Savannah Road, our building is just opposite his office there. So you can't miss it. Now, for those of you who have worked hard all your life and missed out on the 3.5%, it's not a problem. It's backed by public demand. So when you make an investment with us, your money is safe, it is secure, and you're getting 3.5%. So imagine if you have $100,000 or $200,000 and you decide, you know what, I'm going to make an investment in Real Talk. You're getting 3.5% per year on 100,000. That is 3,500. And if you take that same 100,000 and you put it on a 3-year term, or a 3-year investment, you're getting 10.5%. That is 10,500 on the same 100,000. Now, where in Trinidad are you getting that? Tell me. Nowhere. Nowhere. 10.5% on a 3-year investment. You can't get it better than that. So just a little reminder, viewers, I have had talks with those involved in the credit union, you know, granting us certain access. And I just want to say, hopefully by the second week in September 2022, Real Talk Credit Union will be opening its doors to the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. Let me tell you something. I come in to change banking ways in Trinidad and Tobago. Too much suffering. Too much maintenance fee. Too much interest payment. Loans too hard to get. Until your dead ex-wife or your dead wife has signed a paper for you, you can't get a loan. And they're dead. But nevertheless, when the people of Egypt were suffering under Pharaoh, God placed Moses in Egypt. He was brought up by Pharaoh and then turned against Pharaoh and took the children from Egypt into the Red Sea, into the wilderness, where they were fed for 40 years and 40 nights without having to work. So I, Saieed Ali, and Real Talk Credit Union will change the finance sector in Trinidad and Tobago. Trust me and mark my words, you will see it happening. Because I have a track record in Trinidad and Tobago thus far that everything I put down my foot for and a demand I get in it, it comes to pass. You all have seen that. So I come to change banking in Trinidad and Tobago. Let me tell you something. Unless God says, Saieed, it's time for you to come home, I will not stop demanding things and betterment for the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. And I don't depend on nobody. I depend on the spiritual gift that God gave me to use, and I will execute its power to the fullest of my physical ability. To the fullest. So if you're not coming at me, here we're going to change your mind, you know, because your car will run off, you might get blind, you might get a heart attack, you might start to decay. You never know, but just don't come after Saieed because I ain't skinning and grinning and me asking for friend. Just want to let you know that. So as we start off our program tonight, the Central Bank of Trinidad and Tobago have stated that the wearing of masks for staff and customers at its facility will be on a voluntary basis. In an update following the relaxing of the face mask regulation with the exemptions of health facilities, the Central Bank said it will be guided by the National Health Regulation. The update stated that from Monday, July 18, 2022, the wearing of face masks by staff and visitors to the Central Bank will be on a voluntary basis. And it added that since some staff visitors may choose to continue wearing masks, their decision to do so should be respected. And I respect that. I respect that. Meanwhile, the Trinidad and Tobago Prison Service have stated that visitors are still required to wear masks. The Prison Service stated that in an effort to lower the risk of both staff and charges from contamination, they are encouraged to continue to wear masks, whilst persons visiting any prison institution must wear masks. So viewers, I would say in the prison, it is still mandatory to wear masks. Even though the mandatory have been relaxed, we could say it still existed in the prison thus far. Health Ministry have since issued general recommendation for the public or for the wearing of face masks, and includes crowded office space such as banks, mass gathering, transportation hubs, and vehicular, restaurants, and places of entertainment, among others. So they are the request viewers for those individuals attending those mass gathering and transportational thing to continue wearing masks. So if you continue wearing masks, they are saying, why the hell you say you stop the mandatory mask wearing? Why? It ends, mask wearing ends. But hey, you know what? In your restaurant, wear your mask. In your car, wear your mask. You go for transport, wear your mask. In the bank, wear your mask. They all sing. Boy, I don't know what to say about you. The more gray your head getting is the lack of knowledge coming to your brain. I'm telling you. I don't know who in your clumsy team bring this up. Good for nothing set of people, yes? But nevertheless, despite a significant reduction in the public health regulation in the last few months, Minister of Health Terence Dialsing is urging business owners to continue mandating their customers to sanitize their hands before entering their establishment. Dialsing stated that the Chief Medical Officer, Dr. Roshan Parashram, and himself were among a group examining the lift of the regulation that requires persons to wear masks in public places. He said they noted that while business had built-in sink and sanitizing station at their doors during the earlier parts of the pandemic, many no longer required persons to sanitize their hands. They also encouraged business owners that while it was never compulsory, It was part of a 3 W's, and added that the ministry would like business place to keep inviting patrons to sanitize upon entry to our health minister.
If I could just make a plea to business owners and everywhere, whilst that was never compulsory, it was part of the 3 W's, wearing your mask, washing your hands, or sanitizing your hands. I think we would still like business places to keep on inviting your patrons to sanitize their hands on coming in. Let's not do away with that one completely as yet. It's not the law, but let's keep on inviting our patrons to sanitize our hands. The same way we are being very responsible with continuing the mask wearing. Let's still continue the basic 3 W's. Wearing your mask where appropriate, sanitizing your hands, washing your hands, or sanitizing and watching your distance.
The minister also noted that many persons are still wearing their mask in the streets, in the malls, at the supermarket, and he congratulated the population on taking the approach and managing their personal risk.
What we noticed, and I haven't been to church as yet, to be honest, but what we did notice in the public domain in streets, malls, supermarkets, that a lot of people wisely are masking. And for that, Yolande, I want to congratulate the population and thank them. It seems that the vast majority, as we always said, are really, really intelligent and taking the approach, managing their personal risk as we have outlined, and that is on the Ministry of Health's website, that they are doing the right things. You will have the odd person, making comments about masks, and that is fine. But it seems in the public domain, the vast majority of people are really taking this thing seriously, and we are quite pleased that the masking has not been ditched wholesale, but people continue to be very, very responsible. And I really thank Trinidad and Tobago for that. I'm really, really grateful for that.
Now, viewers, staying on the Alsing, the Trinidad and Tobago booster program now needs a boost. That was a stirring plea made by Minister of Health Terrence de Alsing. De Alsing stated that to date, 166,895 persons have been boosted, and therefore made a stern plea to those who have been vaccinated to get their boost, because the protection they got from vaccination is going to wane over time.
166,895 have been boosted. And at this point in time, I really want to make a plea to those who have been vaccinated to get boosted. Why? Because the protection that you get from either vaccination or from any other source is going to wane over time.
Now, viewers, stating that the country's vaccination number continued to be very low, he said, just 56 first doses were administered on Tuesday, while the total dose made up of the first and second dose as well as boosters were 121. He added that only 715,015 persons have been vaccinated, which leaves the country stuck at 51.1% of the population. De Alsing again reiterated that if you are not vaccinated, get vaccinated and get the immunity that you required. Listen to this.
So our vaccination numbers continue to be very low. Total first doses administered yesterday was 56, and the total doses in all, first doses, second, and boosters, are 121. We have now vaccinated completely 715,015 persons. So we are still stuck at 51.1% of the population. So the simple message is this morning, if you are not vaccinated, get vaccinated. Get that immunity that you require. And if you are vaccinated, your protection is going to wane over time.
So now viewers, he urged persons, especially those belonging to the vulnerable group, such as the elderly or those with non-communicable disease like diabetes, hypertension, asthmatic persons, pregnant women, and those at cardiac issues to get vaccinated. So viewers, we are going for a short commercial break, but nevertheless, when we come back, we're going to continue with Terrence Diaz.
Are you looking for quick cash and do not know where to turn? We have got the answer for you. Visit us at RealTalk Group of Companies. We are a licensed money lending financial institution. We are located at number 14 Carney Savannah Road, Chaguanas. Our phone numbers are 339-1670, 267-7325 or 238-6716. Contact us today. We look forward to hearing from you.
Tired of wasting precious time at the bank applying for a loan, only to be denied? We understand your frustration. Here at RealTalk Group of Companies, we take a different approach. Contact Saieed, Managing Director of RealTalk Group of Companies and licensed moneylender at 238-6716, 242-7690 or 339-1670. Feel free to visit our office at number 14 Carney Savannah Road, Chaguanas or number 132 Superior Road, Victoria Village, San Fernando.
Welcome back to Real Talk, viewers. Now, staying with Dayal Singh, further stated that persons need to protect themselves by either starting the vaccination program or getting boosted, as this could really help save a life and keep hospital numbers down. The minister again reiterated that TNT booster program needs a boost and pleads to citizens, if you have not been vaccinated, please commit to being vaccinated.
You need to protect yourself by either starting the vaccination program, or if you have already been vaccinated, get boosted. It can really help save your life. So it's a very simple message this morning. Our booster program needs a boost from you, the members of the public, going out there to be boosted. And finally, if you have not been vaccinated, please commit to being vaccinated.
Booster shots are available for the general population. However, he noted that persons who have had their first booster are eligible to have their second booster some 4 to 6 months after the first. Commenting on the issue of crime, a public health emergency, Dayal Singh stated that both the health and the Ministry of Social Development will be supporting the Prime Minister in developing the position the Prime Minister wants. Listen to this.
On the issue of crime as a public health emergency, first of all, we must recognize the intelligence of the Prime Minister's position in doing that. And as you would have heard on Monday at the press conference, he has appointed 2 co-chairs, which are permanent secretaries, and we will be supporting the permanent secretaries in developing the position that the Honorable Prime Minister wants, both the Ministry of Health and Ministry of Social Development and Family Services.
I still can't understand why the Prime Minister would choose this heading as public health emergency. Why? Crime out of control, and you use a term as the public health emergency? Do we have an outbreak of what? Huh? We need a state of emergency. We don't need a public health emergency. I don't know how foolish these individuals who govern in Trinidad and Tobago could be, you know. I still can't believe it, and I probably guess the whole of Trinidad and Tobago is probably, even the president probably wondering, but public health emergency? Crime is out of control, but we're using public health? Why not SOE, state of emergency? Why not that? Unless the Prime Minister made an error, but you know he's too big and power is all within him and his head. He refused to come out and say, well, you know, I made an error, but you're too big. You're too big of an individual. I am the Prime Minister, and even though I made an error, no, that's not an error. This is the term. Wow. Some too. Some too. So if we have a public health emergency now, such as yellow fever outbreak in Trinidad and Tobago, we're going by Jacob, like I stated before, we're going by Jacob and tell Jacob, here what's going on. Here what's going on, Jacob. We have violent crime out of control. That's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to do. Crime out of control, public health emergency. Burst a dengue fever in Trinidad and Tobago, hey, it's a crime. I'm waiting to see if, God forbid, we got a breakout of some virus in Trinidad and Tobago. I want to see what term they're coming up with. I want to see what term they're coming up with. What term the Prime Minister will come up with. What term D.L. Singh will come up with. Illiterate. That is what I would say. But nevertheless, they're big, they have sense, and they have a head on their shoulder. Chief Medical Officer Dr. Roshan Parashram have stated that the BA5 sublineage of the Omicron variant was detected in 41% of the samples sent to the genomic testing in the last week. The CMO stated that Omicron continues to be the dominating variant of concern in TNT, with the BA2 remaining the dominant sublineage at 45.5% of the recent Omicron sample. BA4 was detected in 9.1%, while BA5 was detected in 41% of the last week Omicron samples. Listen to this.
So to date, Omicron continues to be the dominant variant of concern in Trinidad. A couple of weeks ago, we would have had in our sequencing one Delta as well. So there seems to be a very low presence of Delta in circulation, at least detected in Trinidad. BA2 of the Omicron sublineages remains the dominant for now at 45.5% of the samples that were recently taken. BA4 was detected prior to BA5, but only accounts for 9.1% of the recent Omicron samples. And as we said, BA5 seems to be the most infectious of the lot and was detected in 41% of last week's sample, noting that it was just first detected only a week prior to that. So it seems to be gaining speed and overtaking BA2 and BA4 in terms of the national picture and the international picture very quickly. And we keep an eye on and will update the population as it progresses.
Now viewers, Dr. Parashram said some of the cases were reinfections. And the ministry has not quantified a particular percentage that has been reinfected in TNT. He added that by getting boosted, persons can prevent severe disease outcome in terms of morbidity and morality related to them. Listen to this.
In terms of quantifying, we haven't quantified a particular percentage that has been reinfected, if you want to call it. But generally speaking, a lot of the newer variants of concern have been prone to reinfection. And that is why I think Minister would have stressed on the booster program and the importance of boostering. Another element of people being reinfected, of course, is waning immunity over time. And most of these studies have suggested that after a primary series, that a booster should be had after 6 months,
And then after your first booster, especially for vulnerables, you go 4 to 6 months and you have a second booster. So the booster program is extremely important. May not completely prevent infection, but certainly it will prevent severe disease outcomes in terms of morbidity and mortality related to it.
Caller, good night.
Very good evening to Mr. Saeed.
To you, my friend.
Once again, Mr. Roshan Akash Parashram is a physician and a public health consultant who is currently the Chief Medical Officer of Trinidad and Tobago since 2014.
Yes.
Mr. Parashram is also 44 years old, young man, work his way up, and this is why you have the CMO, the Chief Medical Officer, presiding over these briefings, and not a criminologist, because it's not a crime epidemic we have.
Correct.
I mean, we have a crime epidemic, but what he presides over is nothing about crime. So, I mean, in Wikipedia in the US, when you look at it, they tell you something different, but today I hear a criminologist talking about the US government is giving 40 million to 4 countries, and we thinking about getting involved so that we could get some money, and it could be to a public health crisis.
Yeah.
So, kill me dead, I can't figure out what it is going on, because this is why you have him presiding and not a criminologist. All the best.
Thank you, my friend. The CMO noted that there has not been a great increase in cases at the long COVID clinics, but monitoring will continue in the light of the increase in BA5 cases. Boy, I don't know what to say about them, you know, serious. Public health emergency when crime is out of control. When a virus break out now, we go ball. What we gonna say? What we gonna say? Prime Minister Dr. Saieed Ali has confirmed that he met with Acting Police Commissioner McDonald Jacob to discuss crime and create a national plan of action, which they have been contemplating for some time. Listen to this.
The intention is to have, in the context of this issue being raised in this way, that we develop a national plan of action. And that plan of action would be driven by a public health approach. And that approach would involve the defining of the problem. I have simply mentioned that there is a problem. Acknowledge that there is a problem. And if there's a problem, we'll define it.
He stated that meeting also includes the Defense Force and the Strategic Service Agency, but could not disclose any more details to the public. The minister said the aim of the plan is to squeeze out criminal behavior and criminal conduct out of the lives of persons. Dr. Rowley stated that this action plan will target the youth of the country and hopes it will foster a generation who turn away from criminality. Listen to the Prime Minister.
The aim is to squeeze the criminal behavior, the criminal conduct out of the lives of people. But to do so, you can't leave a vacuum. It has to be replaced with something else. The objective here is to enter the youth population at various levels and to begin a line of education which should steer people away from participation or being desensitized by crime and criminal activity. We believe that if we do that effectively, we would begin to generate a wave of people who will reject crime or be in a position to respond to it from the personal, through the home, through the school, into the wider community. In short, preparing a better citizenry.
Caller, good night.
Good night, Saieed. You know what is disturbing your heart? Camille Robinson Regis came out. These are ministers of government, claiming about the 1 billion, the excess of 1 billion owing by
HDC. Yes.
Saying that, at the rent of $200 or $250, people is owing $50,000. Why can't the government be as drastic as they are on this population for property tax and collect the money that, or is it because their supporter is who is owning the HDC house? This is a way for vote at the expense of taxpayers. Isn't that misbehavior in public office? Now you come and turn it and twist it. Now you look at Republic Bank or Saieed, you doing money lending. What happens when you do not collect your money? How would your business grow? What would be the consequences? You owe the bank two months deficit and they want to sell the property. And this thing is going on. Why they cannot take steps? This is why the country is going. And now it's not only crime that they are mismanaging. They said, remember when he was in opposition, he said if the government cannot manage and control the crime, then they are part of the crime. But what is he saying now? What is he saying now? That is crime too as well. When you're not collecting money for your rent and for these properties, that is not because you want to stay in power. That is why you're fattening your supporters. These are crimes. Nothing this man, you tell me in the economy of the country, everything is out of order. Look at the low rate of people who is attending university. He is stifling, he is punishing academic students. But you're giving your own people bursaries. Look how much million he is spending in doing remedial courses. If the children spend so much years in school and it does not have the requisite to go to secondary school, you think in a month or two they can develop that? All that is money that is being, that is what I have.
Yes.
This man has mismanaged this, and whoever government comes in, they would have a hell of a start. Thanks a lot, sir.
Now, just to add to this caller, before we go for the break, tenants are owing HGC close to $1 billion. HDC is owing contractors a little over $1 billion. Citizens of Trinidad and Tobago understand where I'm going with this, and I will repeat this. Tenants are owing HDC close to $1 billion. HDC is owing contractors a little over $1 billion. Now, you be the judge of this. When Colin Mimbert bring out the property tax, you have to pay a property tax. If you do not pay your property tax, a penalty of $5,000 or $2,000 you would have to pay if you do not pay your property tax. So you now, Trinidad and Tobago, be the judge of that. The clumsiest clown in the administration that is governing Trinidad and Tobago brought a penalty if you don't pay property tax. But there is absolutely nothing in place for tenants who is owing HDC close to $1 billion. Think about that. You just think about it. So when we come back from this break, I want to hear what you all have to say. Because I will tell you something. It's taxpaying citizens' money deposited into the treasury, where the government went and took money from the treasury to build these housing units, to give individuals to live in it who cannot afford $100 in rent, but they own a car. So viewers, we're going to a commercial break. We have a caller. Caller, good night.
Good night, Saieed.
My friend.
All the honorable listeners. This is the original imitation vaccine vigor. Saieed, I am ashamed of Minister Regis. You saw in that agency press conference how she mumbled and she bumbled and she all over the place. I want to know if she was successful in an essay. The basic arithmetic, unit 10,000, she doesn't understand. So I don't know those figures she called out, if they were honest figures. But listen to me, you remember what WASA did? WASA print out all the people who owe them. Likewise, agency must do that. Agency must tell me, because I'm hearing from reliable sources at the end of 2015, the outstanding receivable for HDC housing unit was $100 million. How it jumped to $1 billion now? Within 7 years?
Yep.
So, was the PNM buying votes with that? Giving them houses keys? So the question we have to ask them, tell us the geographic distribution of those houses and tell us if those people, when you give out houses, if they were up to date with their payment. You understand? We can find out this easy, you know. The other thing is, they now admitted to the whole country that they owe contractors.
Correct.
But you know what they're doing? They're litigating everything with the contractors. Who you think benefiting from those litigations? Friends and family lawyers. The opposition leader was right. Check all the litigations they're doing, and all who eat a food is not only senior counsel, you know. It's geriatric counsel. That new term, I turn it to also AKA, meaning senior, geriatric attorneys. That's what we had to put them. They insulted. You know what they're saying? You could never get morality if people do not have any moral. How you could get that? I mean, you go to court, as people say, and a boy shoots somebody and he gets 55 people in the village. They say, he's my grandson, he's my son Akabeta, he's a nice boy. Or let's spare him now. You understand?
Yeah.
They look with a charge. Those two fellas who was in prison since they're 14, 15. If they get the whole, but they say they were nice boys, good boys, we know them, we used to buy sweetie for them. And they should free them. I go and have a nice night.
Thank you, my friend. So as we wrap up the Prime Minister conference, he stated that the police are convinced that upsurge in criminal conduct is supported by some shortcomings of the state with respect to the availability of sustained funding. Sustained funding for criminal elements. Listen to the PM.
The police is convinced that the upsurge in criminal conduct and the ability of persons to arm themselves and challenge the state and upset the population in the way that is happening is supported by some shortcomings on the part of the state with respect to the availability of sustained funding for the criminal element through the use of state resources, not the least of which is illegal quarrying, which is funding a lot of criminal activity and spurring the fight for turf and for resources. And the state is going to take the relevant action to ensure that these facilitations are curtailed and eliminated.
Now, viewers, we are going for a short commercial break, but nevertheless, when we come back, we're going to hear what the attorney have to say on the PSC selections right after this break.
Tired of wasting precious time at the bank applying for a loan, only to be denied? We understand your frustration. Here at Realtor Group of Companies, we take a different approach. Contact Saieed, Managing Director of Realtor Group of Companies and licensed moneylender at 238-6716, 242-7690 or 339-1670. Feel free to visit our office at number 14 Carney Savannah Road, Chaguanas, or number 132 Superior Road, Victoria Village, San Fernando.
Do you want to make the best investment but not sure where to turn? Put your mind at ease and worry no more. Real Talk Group of Companies is giving you a whopping 3.5% interest on your investments. Come on down and visit us today. We have 2 convenient locations just for you. Visit us at number 14 Carney Savannah Road, Chaguanas, or number 132 Sipera Road, Victoria Village, San Fernando. Sit back and watch your money grow at Real Talk Investment. Do contact us now at 238-6716, 339-1670, or 242-7690. Our team of professionals are waiting for you. Grab this opportunity and invest today. Real Talk Investment, helping real people make real money. This ad was paid for by the Real Talk Group of Companies Limited.
Are you looking for quick cash and do not know where to turn? We have got the answer for you. Visit us at Real Talk Group of Companies. We are a licensed money lending financial institution. We are located at number 14 Carney Savannah Road, Chaguanas. Our phone numbers are 339-1670, 267-7325, or 238-6716. Contact us today. We look forward to hearing from you.
Remember, viewers, we have 2 locations, 14 Carney Savannah Road in Chaguanas and 132 Sipera Road, Victoria Village in San Fernando. Both offices open from 8:30 to 4:30, viewers. So before 8:30, you cannot get us if you call, and after 4:30, you cannot get us if you call. Our time are very strict. Is 8:30 to 4:30 p.m. Both locations. They also open on Saturdays from 8:30 to 12 noon. So just keep that in mind, viewers. So on that note, remember, I'm a licensed money lender. You're looking for cash is not a problem. Contact me whether you have house, you have land, you have car, you have vehicle, whatever it is, gold. Contact me and we could do business. Once you like to borrow, I love to lend. I love to put a smile on your face. So while we're on this note, because I have some vehicles for sale, those of you interested, you can come down to the office in Chaguanas or you can contact me. So this is a 180 compressor Benz. It's a beautiful vehicle. It's just buy and drive. $60,000. It's a giveaway. It's a 180 compressor Benz. It's a giveaway price. All for the cost of $60,000. We have a Mazda Axela. Mazda 3. Beautiful vehicle. Good condition. You're looking to buy a cheap vehicle for your son or your daughter to stay on the road or to learn to drive? Not a problem. Check me out. You can get this beautiful Axela. It's a Mazda 3. It only going for $30,000. Top condition. Top. Just buy and drive. And we also have, viewers, this lovely sports utility Range Rover. It's a Vogue autobiograph. Those of you who are looking for SUV vehicle, it's an autobiograph, the latest version of Range Rover. It's a Vogue. The side step, you see, once you open the door, the side step will just slide out, rest your foot on it, and into your vehicle. So the price of that vehicle, viewers, is $675,000. It is now doing 33,000 kilos. It's like new brand. It's like new brand. You can contact me at 238-6716 or 339-1670 to view these vehicles. You can come down on 14 Carney Savannah Road in Chaguanas. So viewers, check me. So as we return to our program now, Attorney at Law Larry Lala has written to the Police Service Commission, that is the PSC, requesting that the contents of a report done by retired Justice Stanley John into allegations of a bribery racket of firearm users license, that is FULs, will not be considered during the process of selecting of a police commissioner. At the time, previous Commissioner Gary Gifford had approved over 5,000 FULs, with over 100 civilians granted permission to carry high-powered weapons. Before his tenure, an average of 200 FULs were issued annually. mainly for civilians to carry handgun and shotgun. According to Larry, Griffith is not against the Police Service Commission taking into account the firearm users license report that the minister, Dr. Keith Rowley, intends to forward to the commission. However, citizens, Mr. Larry argued that it is a base principle of industrial relation that Mr. Griffith be made aware of the contents of the report and be given a reason or a reasonable opportunity to consider the information and respond. So viewers, listen to this very carefully, and I want you to understand this. Take a listen.
When this story was run in the newspaper, a lot of people started saying, well, you know, what kind of thing is this? There's a report and Gary don't want them to take the report into account. That is not the case. We are saying that Gary Griffith, like anybody else, is entitled to fairness, is entitled to decency, is entitled to natural justice. And if the Prime Minister wants the Commission to take anything into account, they first have to present it to Gary and allow him an opportunity to consider it and then respond.
Now viewers, the attorney further stated that after writing to the Police Service Commission, they indicated that no written record exists as to why the merit list was withdrawn. I will say that again. The attorney further stated that after writing the Police Service Commission, they indicated that no written record exists as to why the merit list was withdrawn by the last commission. Hey, and I was telling all of that. Come out into the public domain and tell the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, tell those officers who have submitted application to become a commissioner of police in Trinidad and Tobago, come out and tell us why was the merit list withdrawn. So listen to Larry Lala now.
As to the reason why the merit list was withdrawn by the then chairman of the Police Service Commission after the merit list had been deposited with the president. You'd be surprised to know that the Police Service Commission has said in correspondence to us that in their records they have no reason, no documentation as to the reason why the merit list was withdrawn.
And I was telling all of that all along. I was telling all of that all along. No side, how you know that? Attorney Larry received a letter stating that there were no reasons why the merit list was withdrawn. The president couldn't come out and say it. The official who visited the president came out and said, I am the official that visited the president. Even he couldn't come out and say why the list was withdrawn. So every individual officers who applied for the post of being the next commissioner of police for Trinidad and Tobago, they had what? No understanding of why the list was withdrawn. It's only a man like me will bring it to the forefront, you know. Nobody else is bringing it. Because why? They're afraid they get muzzled. Toodly doodly doodly doo doo doo. I want to hear something. Listen to this. On Monday, Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley stated that the report was done by John will be sent to PSC in full and summarily to Parliament. He said the report made for a very disturbing reading and added that John's report will also be sent to Acting Commissioner of Police McDonald Jacob. Listen this.
I have just received the report of the examination of the firearms unit of the police service, which was being done by a group of persons that you were told about before. And that report makes very disturbing reading. And notwithstanding the best efforts of some of my deranged parliamentary colleagues, I intend to send that report, even before I finish reading it. I'm going to send it to the Police Service Commission and then let the chips fall where they may.
What can you share with us?
And there's an executive summary of it. It will be laid in the Parliament as soon as the Parliament is open. The executive summary. But all components of it will go to the Police Service Commission.
So now, viewers, question about Griffith getting Parliament support. If the PSC selects him, Dr. Rowley said he was not prepared to speak about any one of the candidates. The PM stated that he had no idea at this point in time how the Parliament or how the parliamentary decision will go. Listen to this again.
Why are you talking to me about Gary Griffith? We have 1.4 million citizens. The work of the commission applies to 1.4 million citizens. I have no idea who the commission will recommend to the Parliament. And I have no idea at this point in time how the parliamentary decisions will go. So, in a way, to be picking up the name of one individual and bringing it forward is just for effervescence of the day. It doesn't help the process. It just creates just this disturbance in the country, and any one person could just be disturbing the country's psyche.
Now Trinidad and Tobago, it's back on our Thursday right here on Real Talk with Saieed Ali. Listen to this, eh? The Prime Minister said this government is not going to shut down Petrotrin. Boom! Petrotrin and the refinery was closed. That Prime Minister said, I am not going to beg India for vaccine. Boom! We go to the African country, some medical supplier to buy vaccine. Good. That Prime Minister came out and said, I am the high officials that went to the President. Boom! The merit list was withdrawn. The House Speaker, Bridget Anderson George, every time the UNC would raise a motion, no, that matter is not proper to discuss in this House, and they got turned down. So Keith Rowley wants to stand there and says, at this point in time, I have no idea on how the parliamentary decisions will go. So you're going to tell me, a man of high caliber, visited the President's office. He said that, you know. He said that. Visited the President's office. And the list of individuals vying to be next Commissioner of Police for Trinidad and Tobago, that entire list was scrapped like that. And you're going to tell me now that same man comes standing in a press conference to tell Saieed and the nation that he don't know what decision the parliamentary is going to make? Let me tell you something, Trinidad and Tobago. If you all are foolish, if you all smelling coffee and saying it's Milo, well then you need to wake up and smell the Milo and tell yourself it's coffee, because I ain't believing one thing the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago have to say. Absolutely nothing. You could tell me, if you have that power of influence because of your position as being the Prime Minister and the chair of the Security Council, If you have that influence, even the president afraid of you, you're going to tell me you have no idea how the parliament is going to function under that? Who governs the parliament, Keith? You feel like you're here to make friends with you? No. Your job is to govern Trinidad and Tobago. Your job is not to interfere with the police service, neither the selection of a commissioner of police. But what you did, so when you tell yourself nobody coming to oppose you, where's the opposition leader? Where's the former Minister of National Security for the opposition? Where is he? Said, shut your mouth. Zip it. Kola, good night.
Yes, good night.
Go right ahead.
Saeed, concerning the issues you're talking about is the reason why the marriages was pulled back is simply because the Prime Minister intervened in that situation and make them pull back the list. It's not a matter they don't have no reason. The reason was the Prime Minister involved himself in that. But here talking about the President. Where is the President? She's still missing?
I believe she probably on vacation. That's why nobody has seen or hearing of her. You know, they love to go vacation. They love to go silent when the country needs somebody to support.
But however, though, keep already saying he don't know what will be the outcome, right? You want me to tell you what will be the outcome is? Anybody going to be commissioner except Gary Jefferson, that's going to be the outcome. And if people think I'm talking foolishness, wait and see. I want to touch on this thing real quick, side.
What's that?
How it is, you could tell me, right, that you have ministers and you have people under the ministers that have to collect the money, the rent from HDC houses and apartments, and that accumulates so much money, and all they still getting a salary to do a job, and all that job is to collect the rent.
Yep.
So what are they doing in office all the time?
When you go to the office, let me explain. When you go to the office, you rock back your chair in a recline position, you put your foot on the desk, and you shine your shoes from 8 in the morning to 12 o'clock, you sign your paper, and bat out of hell from the office until the next morning, 8:30.
But I want to ask a question, right? All these tenants that owing all this money to HDC, right? What party, what political party do they belong to? Who do they vote for when it is election time? Who do they vote for? Could anybody phone and see who did they vote for? But I want to find out something as well, right? This is the same woman who failed in her job to collect HDC rent. And then she come in to tell me she going to spend taxpayers' dollars to celebrate the 60th anniversary of independence and spend a set of money without even accounting for HDC money. So they put in she in charge of more money. And she had a chance of walking her back with her brown bag with $143,000, which she can't account for. But this country is a joke by side. Anyway, you enjoy the night.
Thank you, my friend. Let me tell you something now. It's only on Real Talk with Saieed Ali you're getting facts and videos to back it. Why you think we became the #1 current affairs program in Trinidad and Tobago? Because we deal direct with the issues. I don't spin top and mud, you know. I will come out and tell you, hey, X, Y, and Z is the case. X, Y, and Z, and you hear it from the horse's mouth. I don't play games. That's one thing I don't do. I don't play games. So viewers, probably have about 1 minute and 30 seconds in our show tonight. Remember, I have some vehicles for sale. A Benz, Mazda 323 Axela. I also have a Range Rover Vogue, top of the line vehicles. If you're interested, you can contact me at 339-1670 or 238-6716. Viewers, remember I'm a licensed money lender. You can come down and check out this vehicle. The Benz is 60,000, the 323 is 30,000, and the Range Rover is 675,000. Keep in mind, this is the latest model of Range Rovers in Trinidad and Tobago. And the mileage is only 33,000. It's like new brand. It's like new brand. So viewers, come down and check it out. You're looking for money borrow, it's not a problem. not a problem. I love to do business. I love to do business. Like I said, God have blessed me to do spiritual work, and He have also blessed me as a businessman, as a father, as a leader in Trinidad and Tobago, and as a boss who don't even put on a boss belt. But nevertheless, viewers, there's a repeat of this program tomorrow from 11:30 to 12:30 p.m. right here on Synergy Network, and you can meet us right here from 7 to 8 p.m. on Friday, the 22nd of July, 2022. So until we meet again, viewers, Allah ra'khaba'unt zirki Allah inna azal umma. When you want to be on the correct track, open your eyes and look at a proper leader to be a proper leader. Good night.